Congratulations to Aston Villa and Crystal Palace. They have won a major trophy in Europe. Aston Villa for the Europa League and Crystal Palace. I want to say congratulations to my cousins who are Crystal Palace supporters. They have unlocked a major trophy in Europe, a Conference League. And Arsenal, congratulations on winning the Premier League. However, can you unlock the door to win the Champions League against Paris Saint-Germain? So I'm just chilling out, having a coffee and do the end of season talk. Chelsea, our first half of the season was positive until Enzo Maresca decided to quit and walk away, and there are rumours, very sharp rumours, he could be the man to take over Man City after Pep. That's a lot of salt in that. Should Enzo Maresca hold his tongue and just finish the season with us? It's just felt so frustrating and annoying. Yes, I understand there may be some tension at work, as I'm going into work as well. So do we really know the actual story of what happened at Chelsea? Because there are always two sides to the story. So I'm very, very, very disappointed about our second half of the season. Yes, there were some positives. We managed to get ourselves into the FA Cup final with a interim manager who maybe could have had a bit more experience, and maybe if the players were more motivated and say, don't worry about what happened to Enzo Maresca, just try and do something for the fans, let's try and win on a positive note. Well, there were a lot of discipline things to sort out, like so many red cards and so many things happened at Chelsea. I just couldn't really understand why. Yes, a man like Liam Riesonor, the guy who came from Strasbourg, where obviously had the opportunity through our Blue Co ownership, because they also own Strasbourg in the French League One club, and it is what it is really. It's like, if you get an opportunity like to manage Chelsea, then you can't turn it down. But for Liam Riesonor, yes, he had, I think he probably had some really good unbeaten run, by winning games. But then after that, everything collapsed. And then it just felt like it was too late to sack Liam Riesonor and just be like, you know what, we'll go through to the interim manager who was an assistant manager to Liam Riesonor. So I'm like thinking, you know what, we could have gone for an experienced manager to maybe to last us until the end of the season. I know a lot of you will probably be thinking, what about John Terry? I mean, John Terry, it could be a good example. However, it's like what they say on trees, money can't grow on trees. So we just have to take it on the chin and move on. So yes, what about other clubs like Tottenham? Tottenham had a really disaster season. I mean, if they stuck with Thomas Frank, I think he is a good manager. Yeah, he may not be the right fit for Tottenham, but in the case of it is what it is, if they didn't do, pressing the panic button so many times in making the manager changes, if they stuck to Thomas Frank, I think they would have got them to finish 14th place and then start again. But it's the case, hindsight, everything else. So, what do you think? Oh, about Man United. Like Man United had the worst ever first half of the season with Ruben Amorim. I think that's how you pronounce his second name. I'm sorry to the Portuguese, but I have been to Portugal 3 times. So, let me say about Man United. Man United, the first half of the season, you went through a lot of trouble. And it just feels like the manager was trying his feet and trying to understand what the Premier League is about and trying to be, I don't want to say stubborn because I'm stubborn, but what I'm trying to say is this. When Chelsea had Graham Potter, it felt like similarities in the way they're trying to manage. But what Ruben was trying to do was very similar to Antonio Conte 5-3-2 formation, trying to be, stiff with the players and trying to be like, this is what we want you to do. This is how you want to play. And the players, frankly, to be honest, they didn't like him. They didn't like the plan, the way they're playing, and it just feels too stiff, and the way, the memorable match when Man United lost to Grimsby in the League Cup, I think it was, at Grimsby away. And it's in hindsight, we're all talking hindsight here, is that what if he got the sack after that match and you brought in Michael Carrick? You could have won the league, really, to be honest. You could have won the league. I know Arsenal fans going like, oh, hold on. But I'm just saying that, it's all hindsight. I think if Michael Carrick, he did really well in the second half of the season. And if he, he could be the one that Sir Alex Ferguson was looking for, the right type of manager in that DNA of the way Man United plays. And if Michael Carrick stays beyond the next season and win something, maybe win the Champions League, because you have got Steve Holland, the assistant manager. And do you know who Steve Holland comes from? He was the Chelsea assistant manager a few times. So he was successful. So I think that's why Man United played really well in the second half, because you had Steve Holland as the assistant manager. So it's all about whether if Michael Carrick really develops more of the tactical side of things, and if he really, makes sure that the players are still on his side and make sure, you can win some games, because I'm going to say it, he will be found out soon. I mean, not soon because, we're into the World Cup tournament and then we've got a big break after that. I mean, I just think he may be the right manager, but could it be the timing? What do you think in the comments below? So, what other things I need to talk about? What other teams shall I talk about? Yes, West Ham. Let's talk about West Ham. West Ham, you know, what can I say about West Ham? I'm going to be positive here because West Ham, you have some amazing traditional food in like eels and pies and stuff. The accent, obviously, the way you talk, everything. You know, your manager, Nuno Santos, he's a great guy, a great manager. And yes, it has been confirmed that he is going to stay with you guys in the championship, which is a positive sign, but hopefully it will keep him interested because the championship, it is a tough league. He has been there when he was in at Wolves, so he knows the championship inside out. But my feeling, will the big club come in for him and say, do you know what, we own the Champions League, we got, you know, much better standards of the league, much better players, will he go? That is my question to the West Ham fans. Will he go? I really hope he stays. I mean, I know he has confirmed that he is staying, and that's a positive sign, and I hope you keep some of the best players, but when the best players want to go, you got to let them go. And West Ham, as you normally used to know, you used to have one of the best academies from around the world. So hopefully you will get some young local East London, I think it's East London, yeah. You know, lads coming through and playing the first team. So that is all I wish you like West Ham. To be honest, right? When Spurs were sort of going all the way down to the bottom, and then West Ham was slowly going up. I mean, if there had been a little bit, you know, say a couple more matches, I think West Ham would have stayed up. And if Nuno Santos came in a little bit earlier, like let's say September. I mean, he did come in around September, but if he came in a little bit more earlier, who knows? And yes, 39 points is on another day, another season, you would have been saved. So that's my positive thoughts about West Ham. Burnley, I want to say a few things about Burnley. You're a small town somewhere in Manchester, and you know, with a great history of a great club, but you need stability. I know you have got stability with this owner who says he has a local family connections, and he's American apparently, and has got some local family connections, but sticking with Scott Parker, you know, I think Scott Parker is a good manager, but he has been going to clubs at the wrong time, and yes, he got the sack from Burnley, and you know, Burnley seems to be becoming this new yo-yo club, and you're like, you know what, why can't they, you know, get some more experienced players, stick in with the younger players, and just try and play the Burnley way? and had that intensity when Sean Dyche used to be a manager there. So they need to find that kind of manager, or a manager who can actually stick with the team and say, you know what, we will try and keep Burnley up in the Premier League. So, yes. So, that is my end of season talk. If there's anything I have missed out, put down in the comments. Appreciate any likes and subscribe if you want more football takes.